Do you think anyone knows what the fuck we're talking about?
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I mean, if they do, I would say credit to them.
Oh, welcome to the Georg Rockall-Schmidt show.
Oh, no.
I was looking through the metrics and the diagnostics and the calculatories of this podcast, and I discovered that we haven't been offensive enough in the last few weeks, so the first minute, that's out of the way. But, cherry on the cake, Damien, I just found out that there's been a royal wedding, and I had no idea, which is a shame, because I would have found that very entertaining.
Well, now's your opportunity. Like, I'm sure you've got thousands lined up, so let's just fucking pile drive them in.
All right, well, what I was going to say, I didn't want to bring this up, but now they mention it, I was going to say that I'm a very easygoing guy, especially when it comes to the monarchy. I don't really mind them. They can do what they want, and I've got nothing against them. Madge, you go about your business. I'm not going to take a pot at you. But if woe does become to the House of Windsor, hopefully not, and Prince William and his heirs do perish, and Prince Harry becomes the heir to the throne, and Prince Harry becomes the king, then I will go back to England, Damien, and I will not be leaving England until I or Prince Harry are dead. I think we should say for our non-British listeners, people often say, "Oh, policemen in Britain, they don't have guns. How do they tackle people who have guns?" No one has guns in Britain because of the spell around it put on since Merlin's days. So we would be all on horseback. I mean, policemen do have guns, it's just they're towed by horses.
They're masters of trajectory. Never did they ever fire in a straight line.
So if you guys haven't already got this at home, this episode is going to be full of bullshit. I mean, I was thinking before we started, I bet we talk about kaiju for 3 minutes. I bet this is the last time we mention it.
I think so. I think what we could do is we could like throw up maybe like a timer or something like that, and actually, list how long we actually stay on topic for. And it can like accumulate.
Sounds like work.
We can throw it up now. Well, yeah. I think this was probably already in the bin even before I'd finished saying it. But we could throw the timer up now, and it could obviously stop and start as it is applicable.
Okay. Well, do you want to do that? I mean, does this count? Does
no,
us deciding whether to monitor how little we're talking about the subject, does that count as talking about the subject?
Does it count if we're talking? Does it count if we're trying to discuss whether or not we should actually discuss it in the first place? Because I think we should. We should try and rack up as much time as we can.
Damien, does it count if we talk about movies or entertainment in general? Because I have a very interesting story about my bin man with the big mustache and everything. He was walking around. He's got weird shoes.
There better be more to that, because if not, that is an incredible cock tease. I must know more about the mustachioed bin man.
So what do you think about kaiju? No opinion, George. I've never come across this term before.
What is a kaiju? I don't know.
So kaiju is basically films that feature big monsters, or Japanese films that feature big monsters, like Godzilla. And, Damien, and...
King Kong.
King Kong, yes. Mothra. I mean, who do you... I mean, seriously, this is what we need to get down to. Get down to brass tacks. Who do you prefer? Atragon or Gorath?
Excuse me? What now? I'll go with Gorath, because that's the name I can remember. And pronounce.
Okay. Or do you like Pulgasari?
You've got these in front of you, right?
No, I haven't. No, ask me any of them. Ask me anything about kaiju. I'm an expert.
What was the what was the big turtle one?
Aragon.
Okay, was there a big wolf one?
Yes. That was called Lupus.
Was there a big snake one?
Yes, that's right. Econs.
Or was there a big giraffe one?
Yes, there was. Well, it's like Kipper the dog now.
No,
was there a big Kipper giraffe the dog? Was there? And it was just a normal giraffe, but with a fucking really long neck.
Oh yeah, like 200 feet. I mean, it was kind of rubbish for cinematography, because it wouldn't impose on the skyline at all. Like the sheer physicality of its neck, it would not stand tall at all. It would just slowly drag it along the floor. It was painful to watch.
Yeah, it
when you
is
finally
grass.
oh yeah, it's still a herbivore. It's like it's entirely non-threatening.
Yes.
But when you do finally get the final headshot, but it's been dragging its head for so long, the flesh has been sheared off one side of its face. It is entirely. I mean, if it did have any kind of ideas beyond its natural diet, it would be completely ineffective.
I mean, there is something weird about giraffes. That's true. Maybe the giraffe's head could detach, and it's actually a rocket. Like it's the shaft of the neck is a rocket full of fuel. And then the way the giraffe attacks these things is it's a normal-sized giraffe, but its neck and head, the rocket of the giraffe, propel upwards into Mothra's eyes or glands and engage. The giraffe engages its mandibles and beats these things.
All right, so we've got a giraffe, and we've already started playing around with its mouth parts now. So when you say mandibles, I normally think insect, but we do have...
Giraffes have mandibles.
They have mandibles?
Yes, they have mandibles. What are you
must be
talking
thinking...
about? Oh, no, sorry, I don't mean giraffe, I mean crab. Oh, when you get mixed up between a giraffe and a crab.
You can find crabs... They have... No,
you can find crabs with long tits. I was just thinking, why do they call... never mind.
Oh, so we've got a crab with... All right, so it's not the neck, but we've got like 200-foot eye stalks.
Okay, all right, okay, that's not what I was thinking, but all right.
And unlike the giraffe, these stand very proud, right? They're like titanium.
Right, they're like vines, right? They're very vascular, very muscly stalks, right?
No, you see, the way that I'm thinking, it's still a regular sized crab. It's all of 8 inches wide or something like that.
Okay,
it still has very delicate eye stalks. Why? What are you thinking?
No, sorry, I was thinking of a giraffe again. I keep getting mixed up between these two. A giraffe with its eyes on stalks,
right?
Massive 200-foot stalks. But they're like Jack the Beanstalk stalks.
All right, so we're saying this is a giraffe that is 400 foot tall now. So we've got a 200-foot neck.
The giraffe's a normal size, and its eyes are on stalks. I don't know. You said that. I didn't.
No. Don't try and pin this on me. I know we're in a tailspin, but I suppose it is usually my fault, actually. Yes.
We've been in a tailspin since episode 5.
Even that's fucking generous.
Yeah, we've been in a tailspin since well before we sat down to record any of this shit. What people don't know is we recorded 50 of these episodes all on the same day, and I've just been releasing them. We don't do these week to week or anything like that. It's 50 on the same day. So we've just worked out the timings of this, and I'm just assuming that Prince Harry has got married to Meghan Markle. Maybe that didn't happen at all. I mean, it tells you the fucking state of ISIS, doesn't it? The fact that I'm assuming that they got married and they haven't been blown up. I didn't even think about ISIS blowing them up. Can't even blow up one fucking wedding, lads. Maybe I got it wrong, though. Maybe it wasn't ISIS. Maybe people thought it was ISIS, but then it turns out to be a US Predator drone who mistook their wedding for a Taliban party.
A sexy Taliban party.
Well, you think the royal wedding was particularly sexy to you? Is that your prediction?
Oh, so we're back to predictions now. So this is like a month ago now.
No, we recorded this in September 2017. Don't you
of course, yes. No, I forget.
Yeah. I mean, we are recording this, then.
I do appreciate that you said that 20 seconds ago, but I feel like not paying attention to what was previously said is a benefit to what we're doing. I have very much lost the plot, but I think it will fall in our favor eventually once we dig ourselves. Well, it will fall in our favor when I finally dig myself out of this hole. Fuck,
Is that now? Have you dug yourself out of it now?
I'm sure in editing you will have left. I mean, that was a long pause anyway, but I'm sure you will draw that out really nicely. Put a lot of reverb on, make it quite uncomfortable. What did you think, Damien?
Well, okay, so how would you westernize kaiju, Damien? I don't know why I fucking do this, like pretend we've got this question that we, from up above. Do you have anything to say about kaiju? No. Let's talk about toe jam. Where does it come from?
Well, from betwixt the toes, no?
Is it actually jam?
I wouldn't spread it on my my toast of a morning, no.
You think it's more of like an evening jam?
I would say like a light afternoon affair, but not. I would say something that's done of a fortnight, really.
I feel sick. I was thinking kaiju, westernize it. You got Godzilla, but Godzilla is played by Andy Serkis.
So how are we doing this? Is Andy Serkis?
What am I talking about? He already did King Kong. It's obvious.
Of course, but when we do this, are we doing like more kind of motion capture stuff, or are we just gonna have Andy Serkis in like crude makeup, or even like elaborate makeup? But you can clearly see this Andy Serkis.
It's elaborate makeup, but it's not good.
You can see the eyes are the only thing that weren't done well. You can clearly see who those are human eyes right there.
It'd be really funny. It's just like Planet of the Apes from the 60s.
And it's just Andy Serkis crushing Toy Town.
It's just basically Big Bird, but green. He's got like chicken legs and everything.
And every now and again, you know, in between like spots of dialogue, you just have this huge belated sigh from Andy Serkis, understanding that his career is entirely over at this point.
Because he's signed a contract saying he's going to do 7 of these. I think Godzilla is too gaudy a name for Western audiences. I think it should be called Mr. Zilla. Or something that indicates a clear separation of church and state.
Yeah, they can definitely. It depends on the territories. We can definitely have Senior Zilla as well.
Presidentzilla.
Or, you know, depending on what kind of demographic you want to go for, we could have like Madame Zilla as well.
Madame Zilla? What? Oh, we got to get those fucking French in there.
Oh, well, I was going for a more feminine demographic, but if you want to, you know, go that angle, you know, that's something that we could consider.
So, welcome to tonight's feature, Mothra versus Bridezilla. Have you ever seen Bridezilla? Because they have a narrator who's pretty funny. It's this woman, and she does this narration, and I'm pretty sure that she does the bits in between and after commercials individually. So it's not just like, coming up next, you know, it's her actually reading it every time. And every time she has to say, coming up next on Bridezilla. And she always has to do it like that, like Bridezilla. And I wonder how much she wants to fucking kill herself now that she does it, because she must have done 1,000 episodes of that.
Oh yeah, easily. But I'm just having a quick look here. It's done at least 10 seasons, right?
Has it? Right. Have you ever seen the male version? I think what's it called? Bastard Grooms or something.
Cunty men getting pissed.
Cunty men. They're not demanding. They just cheat on their wives. Just go on a stag party and fuck a prostitute.
Yeah, there's only like a 60% success rate. They actually turn up to the wedding, albeit it is a sham for TV. But even so, for something that could have been fabricated, they could have like crowbarred that in, and they could have got this guy to fucking turn up.
Well, I mean, they could, you know, it's reality TV. They can do what they want. I mean, they say to these Bridezillas, they basically rock up and they're like, all right, we're going to film you, and we're going to film you, and you're going to be looking at your dress. Oh, but by the way, your man has chosen the dress. He hasn't been able to do anything, to talk to you in any way. Oh, and by the way, drink all this champagne really quickly.
And then what we want you to do is react to this like you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Specifically, think human garbage. You know, like you know, there's leaves on you because you're a cabbage.
You are detritus. You are your only value is you sustain bottom feeders. Right?
If you were going to meet Stephen Merchant, he would probably describe you as interminable.
And you may not know who that is, but that is devastating. I'll tell you now. That will cut you right down to the fucking bone.
Madam, he has done you. Madam. These crocodiles, Madam Stephen Merchant has done you. Do you think anyone knows what the fuck we're talking about?
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I mean, if they do, I would say credit to them.
There's the intro. Oh, okay. So I'm looking at the Wikipedia for kaiju. Wikipedia, do the fucking podcast for me.
Well, I think we can hold out within. I mean, I think they're going to be able to do that with it, you know, soon enough. They will. Maybe not Wikipedia, but definitely Google will be able to do something like that. There'll be some kind of burgeoning functionality there.
Alexa will deliver a podcast based on sentences it's got algorithmically.
Or we could definitely like copy and paste the dialogue into some kind of voice dictation program, not dictation, some kind of oration software.
What? So we have to write the dialogue? That just sounds like it would take
No. We just get whatever we find from Wikipedia, and we just kind of we'll just tap the spacebar every now and again, and just sort of react to it.
Kaiju is a Japanese film genre that features giant monsters, usually attacking major cities and engaging the military and other monsters in battle.
Oh, I didn't know that. What did you think about that, Damien? Well, I thought that was rather bandy myself. Ooh, let's continue.
Kaiju originally referred to monsters and creatures from ancient Japanese legends.
Next episode, it's just going to be me reading 100 facts you didn't know about science. Did you know that the Brazil nut isn't from Brazil? It's from Bolivia.
And it's not technically a nut, it's technically a vegetable.
It's a citizen of the
fruit
Brazilian
plant.
Free States.
The word kaiju first appears in Classic of Mountains and says, get some fucking knowledge.
Okay, so another idea I had for westernizing or Americanizing or whatever these kaiju was... so whenever it's played out of the country, it starts with the narration... In 1937, Japan invaded Manchuria and systematically raped and enslaved the Chinese peasants there. Yeah, Japan, great place. Yeah, full of honor. Never apologize for the...
Another way, we could westernize them is plain and simply subtitles. That's it, done.
But like the subtitles are like 2/3 of the screen. It's like if you're playing them in an outdoor theatre, people on the other hill can see what the subtitles say.
Oh, they're incredibly kind of invasive. Yes, it's just there's all like the fact they've made any effort with any kind of cinematography it feels almost redundant.
But they're not even like always on the bottom. They're like very deliberately placed over people's heads.
All right,
so you know who's speaking.
So I was thinking massive letters, but we could kind of do like a sort of a play on speech bubbles, but we can just have them write out the faces. So do we? All right, so we got dialogue, that's fine, but what about onomatopoeia? So every time this thing is kind of like roaring and stuff like that, do we have that same kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, because we don't want the actual Japanese sound, do we? We just want the word roar to come up.
I mean, I could say you still have the audio, I take it, but we could have... Are we saying that the monsters themselves would be obscure just as the people would be?
Yeah. I mean, I think not only the monsters, but any action and anything that looks at all interesting, I think should be obscured.
Any kind of wide shots with like crowds of people panicking and they're all screaming. Do we have? Say if we could have like maybe like 100 people in a shot. Will every one of their faces be obscured by a little text saying "Ah"?
I think that's too exciting to be in a film with subtitles, because I think the subtitles. Won't get read because people will be interested in all these little faces doing whatever they're doing.
All right, so what you're saying is...
So what I'm saying is I think it should just be a black screen and it says 2 minutes, 30 seconds, crowd panicking, shots. Shot of frog-like monster. It's like frog-like, that's fine. Frog-like monster appearing from waves.
Right,
Brackets, bad miniature.
Okay, yeah. So I think you might be right. We might, like that original formula that we were talking about, might have too much information. Dare I say, too cerebral. So if we pare it down like this,
visual.
Yeah. So I think if we pare it down like we're doing now, I think that could be, a much more bearable watch.
I think actually what it should be is it should just be a man in front of a black screen saying, and then Godzilla twists his hips like this because it's all in the hips, and he whacks over at a building, and then people are like, whoa, and then we go back to the people on the ground and there's a fire engine and it's traveling back to Godzilla, and Godzilla is still using his hips to knock down stuff and his big tail. Then we're back with our main character who is figuring out what to do, and it's just 90 minutes of someone walking us through the script without actually reading any of it.
Yeah, so there's no visuals, I take it. So it could be, we could almost go for like a sort of like a kids kind of storytime TV show from the 70s. So we just got someone in quite a neat kind of sweater, just sat on a stool, just reading this to us out of a book. There's at least some kind of visual stimulation.
I was thinking more that it's the king from Ran with his big fucking white facial hair everywhere. It's the king from Ran, and he's just on a black background, and he's just doing this. And it's like he's trying to... it's like he's died, and this is the first thing he's encountered in heaven. In heaven, he's gone up to heaven, and they say to him, you can enter the kingdom of heaven, but we need you to recite the film of Godzilla to us before we can let you in. And he's like, okay, right, I can remember it pretty well. And they're like, yeah, don't worry, you don't have to get it word for word or anything like that, but tell us the story.
All right, okay. So
and make it a long one.
So
and he's like,
what
okay.
we talking about, like a medium close-up here, or is it like really tight on his face?
No, I see it as having three. I think it's a long shot for some things, a medium shot, and then a close-up.
All right, so close-up for like really tense moments, and then
Yeah,
okay.
I think we're talking like extreme close-up almost, aren't we?
Yeah. Like you can see the
You can
like
see the bristles on his nose. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say texture, the varying textures of his nose. Yeah.
The rich textures of his age, which have become a man.
Yes, his nose has become a man. Your nose is a man.
Yeah,
I forget how simple we are sometimes.
I seem to remember we had this whole other conversation where you said some really offensive stuff about Japan, and I was like, no, we need to get back to our criteria for us not discussing kaiju.
Yeah, something I do remember a sexy Taliban party. And I kind of blacked out after that.
Okay. Good. I think everyone's looking at ankles there.
Okay.
Yeah, go on. Okay, what? You were gonna say we were talking about kaiju.
Okay.
Let's talk about let's talk about Terminator.
We have explored that. Yeah, let's talk about. I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the other day, and
yeah.
No, so
oh yeah, the original, the next.
So
gen.
kaiju is basically no, the original Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, the original Ninja Mutant Turtles with Patrick Stewart.
I reckon if you spray painted him green, he'd like a good turtle. Is that just me? He's got the look.
I see him more as a Splinter, sort of, the wise one. I couldn't, I couldn't imagine him behaving like a '90s surfer dude.
So Patrick Stewart Splinter, right? So we'll do this for a little bit. Who's Data then?
I mean, what do you want me to say to that question? Oh, obviously Data would be Michelangelo. Obviously Data would be April O'Neil. Stop trying to fucking bring Star Trek into the podcast. Every week.
All right, so the Enterprise is in orbit, right? And they see that, New York is besieged by this giant giraffe fucking robot thing, right? That has crab eyes for some reason. And they are overcome. They don't know how to intervene. They don't know what to do. So they try to take some personal time to themselves to kind of relax and kind of get a grip on the situation. They go to the holodeck, right? And then that's where they recreate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There we go. That's how you westernize it.
Before we do that, though, we could really cash in on the whole crossover genre and have what audiences have frankly been dying for, Star Trek versus Alien. Wouldn't you love to see H.R. Giger's Alien stalking the Starship Enterprise? You got the android. The android can be in on it, maybe. You got Worf.
Naturally.
He works for... He's a Klingon, and Klingons like battle. Love a bit of battle.
Excellent. Yes. Yeah. He'll like take that big kind of the blade thingy and try to slice it up a little bit. Naturally expected. But what if like Worf gets maybe like the thing is facehuggers end up on the Enterprise, right? It gets
right.
Worf, and what we don't have is like a human xenomorph, but a Klingon one, right? So it's got an even wrinklier head, and it's even more fucking aggressive.
It's like a normal alien, but it also speaks elf.
Picard's fucking shitting himself. He sequesters himself in the holodeck, but thanks to some kind of malfunction with this alien running amok, it's stuck running this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles program. So he's stuck in the green spray paint. He doesn't know what to do. Like, Picard is top to bottom in green paint, right? He didn't leave that little patch at the bottom of his spine. If he can't get to a shower soon, he's going to fucking pass out. His number will be up.
So wait, so alien attacks the Starship Enterprise whilst Picard is playing human ninja teenage mutant turtles, and he's dressed as one. And while he's doing that, that's when Alien comes in. That's her excuse for having Picard dressed as a giant turtle for the entirety of the movie. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
See, what I was going to say is,
I got to the point that he's in the body paint. Maybe he hasn't suited
listen,
up yet.
Geordie, the man with the glasses, Geordie decides to try and do some sort of subroutine which will make the human ninja teenage turtles real, and he's like trying to do that before Counselor Troy tries to reason with the alien. He's like, "Don't, you stupid bitch, it's just going to kill you." He's like, "No, I can reason with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand that people feel many different things." And he's like, "Okay, right, I'm going to try and make these human teenage ninja turtles, what are they called? Superhuman
Super Nintendo Angel Monkey Tortoise sprites.
Super mutant. No, what are they called?
Super Mutant Nintendo Turtle.
Super. Is it? What? Super
Teenage
Ninja.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So the word super isn't in there.
No.
Teenage.
Or it might be. I don't know. If you want to write to us and tell us to give up.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Are you going to edit that in? Paste it over every failed attempt.
And I'm going to say, it's what I've been saying the whole time, every time.
All right, so Counselor Troy is like torn asunder, right? We have this like really gratuitous shot.
No. Okay, that's what we're saying then. Okay, she's torn asunder by trying to reason with it.
Yeah, we have like the shot where like the additional mouth comes out the mouth and it pierces her skull. I mean, she's done. She's completely toast. But Geordie's still fucking... he's ploughing on with his plan to make the Ninja Turtles real, so they will do battle with the alien.
Right. And where's Data in all of this? Bumming Riker.
Yeah, all right. We can have that. That can be the B plot.
Data's bumming Riker.
I mean, Riker's overcome as well, you know. He knows that, like everyone
Riker's
else
what?
on the ship, he's overwhelmed as well.
Okay.
And, you know, in what he understands to be his last moments, there are a few things he wants to kind of tick off his bucket list so he can die almost, at peace, or as much as he can do at this point. And the gentle embrace of an android is something that he has wanted to know up until now. This is like his last opportunity. He takes it.
I see. But while he's taking it, he's looking at a crinkled up photo of Lance Henriksen.
The original. Okay.
Where's Ripley in all of this then? Or is she's not in it? This is like Alien Resurrection, not Alien Resurrection. This is like
it's a bit like Alien versus kind of like Predator situation. There's no Ripley here. We don't need that. That would be kind of too much. I think don't want to over-egg the pudding. I mean, it's starting to sound ridiculous if you do that. Because
someone would look at a roster of people who have attached their names in some way to this project, and they'd be like, I see you've got a lot of A-listers here. That's not good.
Let's pare them down a little.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why I would say a lot of A-listers. I mean, it's her and Patrick Stewart, isn't it?
Yeah.
No one's going like, fucking hell, you got Lance Henriksen. He doesn't just do anything.
Is he? He's still alive? Wow.
What? You mean the Pumpkinhead too? Fucking hell. Nice. Is he still alive? Well, I don't know. Why don't we look it up?
Welcome to... Are they dead yet?
He is still alive.
Because we do inadvertently predict his death, and we have to make a formal apology next week.
Or well, I suppose if predicting his death is saying he will die, yes, we have predicted his death.
And now I feel foolish.
Good. You should. So does this Enterprise versus Alien film, does it end up with the Enterprise self-destructing?
Well, naturally. I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how and why.
Well, because the alien's on there and they need to... get away from it, but the Klingons are on their way to claim it because they're like, oh, alien could be useful weapon. Borsky, borsky, borsh. I am Klingon. I love battle.
All right, so yeah, the what was it? The bird of prey turns up, and
Okay, let me do my Klingon voice. All right, it's like in in RoboCop where they've got the big gun and they're fucking around with the big gun. The bad guys are fucking around with that big like anti-material rifle, and the guy goes, "I like it." It's like that. That's the Klingon.
No, I was kind of hoping for a nice shot of the bridge on the bird of prey, and they're all the Swedish chef.
So what? The Swedish chef is what? The commander of the Enterprise? What?
He's every no on the Klingon ship, but he's not the captain. He's every member of the crew.
I see. And Swedish chef is like, battle. And then they're going to try and take Alien as a weapon. So Picard's like, I'm not fucking having that over my dead green body. Auto-destruct, and then they get away on a shuttle or something. And then Alien versus Star Trek 2 can be Picard et al. On this remote planet they've crash-landed onto that the Enterprise was going around when it exploded. They crash-landed onto it, and then they realise, oh fuck, an alien is down here as well.
Is it like at some point there'll have been some kind of away team onto the Enterprise by the Klingons, right? And they inadvertently bring back like one of the aliens with it, right?
Right.
So as Picard's making his escape, the Enterprise is in fucking tatters. They know enough about what's going on. They're beating a hasty retreat, but they're just finding out they've got their own problem. And like one of the final shots is that you've got like this queen like alien thing, and it's just got the Swedish chef pinned down, and it's just pumping him full of fucking eggs, right? And then it just cuts to black.
And then that's how we sell the Saturday morning cereal, which is Muppet Alien Babies. Muppet Alien Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles Babies.
We have to get something along the lines of Godzilla in there at some point in the title.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise it doesn't link up with what we're supposed to be talking about in the first place.
Godzilla, Muppet Teenage Ninja Mutant Alien Babies.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a thorough exploration. I think. So next week on anti-content.
I like it. Stupid fat Kevin. Stupid fat Kevin.
I mean, we technically didn't talk about kaiju at all, other than
we did.
Do you know what it is? Not really.
We did a bit. Well, we did something the other day where we didn't talk about it at all.
What was that? Maybe we can talk about that.
Well, I can't remember what we've done. I have to load up my fucking YouTube thing now.
Oh, fuck that. No.
Oh, no,
That's too much effort.
It's happening now. I'm intrigued. We definitely talked a bit about YouTube drama, didn't we? Or nah, who cares? Oh, we didn't talk at all about Flubber.
What did we talk about?
Probably fisting or something.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Oh, so we make like a very earnest promise to cover Flubber next week, and then just figure it out when we get there.
We know it's not good enough. We're really sorry from the bottom of our hearts. We promise we'll cover Flubber next week. Fuck that. Fuck that. I have no idea what we talked about in the Flubber one, and no. Okay, so that's enough of whatever we were talking about today. Next time we're going to be talking about something else.
Yes, we will.
See you next time.
See you next time.